want to begin with a question about the situation you described there in Israel with showing a film like that, and what is that something that happened to you? Is this kind of censorship, or how do you relate to that?
Hi, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, I mean the genesis of the project, as they like to call it, or the film, is pretty simple. I mean, a little bit like in the movie, I got a phone call from a extremely nice, vivid, kind, generous, devoted young woman from the Ministry of Culture, who knew very well my films, which is always flattering, and invited me to come for a debate after a screening of one of my previous films, The Kindergarten Teacher, somewhere in the Israeli desert. It was really a very nice talk, like 30 minutes talk on the phone, etc., etc. And at the very end, she mentioned, you can maybe guess, a certain form where I will have to precise the topics of my intervention, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, so I mean, I always feel a little bit strange to tell this story, because actually I'm telling you the story of the movie that you've just saw. So I mean, it looks to me like telling again what was on the screen. But yeah. So I mean, So the movie was created in a period which is also what's happening more or less now, where there was a feeling that let's say that the freedom of speech is kind of a fragile and vulnerable thing. Afterwards, I would say that maybe what for me distinguish censorship and oppression or artistic oppression in places like Israel than what you see. I mean, I'm not a big expert in politics, international politics, but what I can imagine that you feel in places, I don't know, like maybe Russia or Turkey or whatever, is that in Israel the biggest censorship is the interior censorship. Like for the best and for the worst, in Israel you don't have to throw filmmakers to the prison in order to make them understand what are the good and what are the bad topics. People grasp it very well, because I think we Israelis, in a way, deep inside, we identify very strongly with the state, with the system. Yeah.
And then there's a lot of anger in your film, a lot of anger, but also it's not one-sided. It is always in an ambivalence. So is that something you search for? Is that something that comes to you while just working on a film and is not actually inside you, or how is it?
Yeah, I mean, this anger thing is. I mean, I totally understand that people look at the film and feel that there's a lot of rage and anger there. I always feel also that in a way afterwards there's something, because I'm a pretty basically calm person, so it's created a kind of contradiction with the movie. But I would say that in a very general way, first of all, if we talk about this anger, I would say that in a very general way there is this anger or sadness about the way things should have been and the way they are. And this is, I think, is a kind of feeling that in a way should be shared by 99.9% citizens of the globe. Afterwards, yeah. I mean, there is anger. The movie was done in a period, I think, when I don't know if it's anger, but the movie, I think, was done and described the character and in a mood where there is no capacity and no will to keep a certain distance from your own emotions. I mean, where everything everything is charged, everything is present, everything is charged, everything is taken to the most extreme place. Everything is taken to the edge. Nothing is neutral. And at the same time, I mean, I don't know if you saw my previous movies, all of them, some of them, but I think that it's my most, strangely, maybe my most frontal, but also my most optimistic movie. I mean, I think that it's a movie that ends with also with love and grace. So I think it's yeah.
Are there questions from your side? Just raise your hand. If not, we go on a bit, and you can still think of a question. I'm interested in the place, the desert Negev, I think it's called. Why did you choose to set it there? And maybe you can tell us a bit about it, because I don't know so much.
I've chosen that the film will take place there because it took place there, and in a way I think that there are domains. I mean, I think that in a lot of domains, I feel that I should listen to the truth of things, to the truth of life. I mean. I don't know, there is this cliche that filmmakers, they play God, etc., etc., etc. So I think, why not? Playing God is a joyful thing, but I think that I feel that I should play God in the interesting places, starting to say, okay, it took place in the desert, but I'm going to put it, to place it on the beach. And afterwards, I don't know, there's something in this emptiness. It's like places where you can walk around for 6 hours not seeing one single person. Maybe it gives a kind of metaphysical level to the film. There are people who say that it gives a kind of biblical level to the film. I read somewhere that these guys are a little bit like the ancient prophets from the Bible who were wandering in the desert and telling terrible things to the people. I think in a way, that what's interesting is that I feel that after this choice made, there's a very romantic dimension to the desert. And in a way, I feel that especially for Europeans, because for you, like, desert is super exotic, and you live like in green places, and it's raining all the time. So desert is like. But I think that the film doesn't treat this desert in a romantic way. I mean, I think that I would say even more. I think that for long moments in the movie, the film is a conflict with its own location. A little bit like the main character. The film fights against the power and the charisma and the beauty of the sand and of the hills and of the desert, and refuses to observe it, and refuses to get it as it is, as if it's saying, well, it's not a magnificent desert, it's just some hills of dirty sand. And I think that it's only maybe at the end that the film surrendered to the power of the geography.
Are there questions now? Don't be shy. There's a question.
Yes, thank you for the movie. I wonder how you see it, how the movie treats the conflict between center and periphery, in a sense that maybe the intellectual director of a movie comes to the periphery and seems to, I don't know, think that all the others hate him, although it doesn't have to be so.
Yeah, I mean, I think, let's say that the film treats this conflict between people who look at things from different perspective because their life led them. I mean, you know, those who I mean, you can call it center and periphery. You can call it those that when they were 4 years old, their parents were watching films of Eisenstein, and I mean, it's clear that I think that these people, this director and this young woman, they come from totally different places, and in a way, a lot, so much separates them. I mean, there are also a lot of things maybe in common. There are certain sensibilities, certain physical attraction, certain, but at the end, so much separates them, and it's also the place where they came from. I mean, for instance, you know, this young woman who is, I think, is described in the movie basically in a very positive way, with a beautiful voice and this graceful way of talking and walking, and her devotion to culture. So you can imagine her, you know, coming from this small place, and while, I don't know, other kids were playing around, she was like reading books, and she got where she got, and this is marvelous. And at the same time, she's serving oppression, and yeah. So I mean. But you know, it's also at the same time, it's always funny a little bit to do a Q&A for this movie after the guy is doing a Q&A in the movie. But I mean, it's a little bit also it's a conflict between center and periphery. It's a conflict between individual and society. It's a conflict between maybe artists and people who surround him. But I want to believe that it's not this victimization of the artist, because I mean he is, at the end, he is, of course, is in a way as violent, as aggressive as the things that he's attacking. I mean, let's say that he suffers from the same disease that he's apparently trying to cure, or something like this. So, I mean, if it has to be like this, I have no idea. But it is like this. So is it something? I mean, I think that all over the world it's a little bit like this. These conflicts, this tension, and at the same time, as I said, I think that, you know, the movie ends with a kind of very basic, maybe the most basic thing that can happen between one human being and another. You know, with maybe like the most basic words that one human being can tell the other, like, I don't know, you are good. So yes and no.
There's another question in the middle, or yeah.
I already got the phone. I'm very much interested by, very much intrigued by the way the movie ends on two tracks at the same time. The ultimate ending was flying out, and Y talking to his mother and saying, "Okay, have a last look on Israel. So bye-bye." And that was a real ending. And I took it more seriously than the ending before, where Y was standing there as a monster. You are good, you're still good. And so you went over the top there and you knew it. And I'd rather ask how this discussion that this film clearly needs to trigger shall take its start from these two endings in the film. Having Y as a monster is nonsensical, so he has a point, and everybody else treating him like the monster of the bell and the bat doesn't really help very much. And so how from there can a discussion start? And how from the flight ending, bye-bye Israel, can a discussion start?
I'm not sure I understand. Which discussion should start?
It comes again.
There is a discussion starting, I hope, in Israel. I hope that this movie got to the point of how intellectuals, how people who wish to make a contribution to society are treated. And having this last over the top, the next to last over the top scene with everybody being after the artist and everybody standing at a precipice is perhaps not the position from where such a discussion should start. And starting with leaving Israel, well, not sure whether that's a better position for that discussion.
Yeah, well,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure that that the aim of the movie is to start a discussion in Israel or in the UN or in Vienna. No, I mean, it might be. Why not? But I think that in a way what the movie is trying to do is to grasp a moment in the existence, in the life of a place, of a society, of a country, of our actual condition. I mean, whether it will start a discussion, whether it will end a discussion, whether there's no place for discussion, whether discussion is kind of miracle that cannot take place, and at the end, the only discussion is the discussion between us and ourselves. A little bit, I think, like in the movie. I don't know, but I think that I mean. Frankly, I never saw myself as a kind of someone who makes like preludes for discussions. So maybe with another movie.
Why keeps out of Israel and will communicate with his mother over the phone? And that's for why the ending of the movie.
Is there another question in the room? If not, there's one.
Yes, congratulations for this great film. I just wanted to ask how the reactions from the Ministry of Culture in Israel is.
Mild reactions. Let's say that they weren't. I don't think that they made a party when we got the award in Cannes. I mean, there was. I mean, the actual Minister of Culture. He said something like that the movie. It wasn't brilliant. So it takes me time to remember. But something like that. The movie is not representing the spirit of Israeli cinema, and yet it has its place. But that he personally admires the country and doesn't like so much this idea of film directors who complain all the time. But otherwise, reactions in Israel were very, in general, maybe were very. They were pretty divided between extremely conflictual and aggressive ones, but on the other hand, a lot of people that were deeply moved and shaken by the movie, and that I think in a way felt that the movie is not just a kind of narrow political declaration, but maybe in a broader way kind of existential piece about what do you become when you live in a place that you're in a permanent conflict with, and what and how, and what comes out of you.
Was there one next, or did I just dream that? No, okay, I dreamed it. Any other questions in the room? If not, I'm going to ask the last question. So it's your chance to ask the last question. Okay, I will do it. I'm maybe just because now we talked a lot about content of the film, I also think that we all could see that the form is pretty strong, so I want to talk a bit about that. Maybe in relation to music, because I feel that you are so, I mean, the cinema, your cinema in general in this film, it's like, it's driven as if it was music itself, but then you have also these very impressive moments with music, so I wonder how you work with that. When does music come into the filmmaking process, and how do you choose the music and so on?
Yeah, I mean, pretty often I'm choosing it during the writing of the script. Like the script already comes with specific songs. I mean, I think that the great thing about music is that it turns everything everything stranger in a way. I mean, like, for instance, arguing about politics, it's a very common thing, a pretty boring one, if it's done like, but dancing a debate about politics is already a different thing. So I think that these pieces of music is for me as if they inject other ingredients to the movie, and at the same time I think that in this movie it's not like the musical moments, the dance, the singing are a kind of relief. I mean, I think that in this movie people are dancing what they feel, or dancing what they think, or dancing who they are. They dance themselves. So yeah. So for me, like there's something in the music that at the same time is coming from totally different world, and at the same time it's the whole essence of the movie is inside.
Okay, then thank you very much, Nadav. Thank you very much for staying. And yet now there is a question. Okay, then we can do it. Sorry.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about the way that you worked with the main actor, because I know Avshalom a little bit from the dance world, and it's quite impressive that it's really the way he's acting is very much similar to reality. So I wanted to, also in the movie, I feel it's something in between reality and surrealism, and even the moments of surrealism, it's really even get close to reality
in the feeling, the way that the camera is moving. So I wanted to ask if, like, the way of professionally working with actors, you dealt with this reality, not reality. Also, it's a autobiography movie, so yeah. I hope that you understood the question.
Yeah, I don't know, if when I work with actors, we talk about, we deal with if the movie is realistic or surrealistic or whatever. I feel basically that the movie is very realistic, but life is surrealistic. But each person can have. So it's a very realistic movie about a very surrealistic life, which is our life. What I can say, I think, is that what I'm trying when I work with actors in general, and also mainly with main actors, I don't try to, interpret each scene and understand what's the dramatic idea behind each scene and each line, etc., etc., etc. Because I just feel that it's a kind of faking life and faking existence. What I'm trying to do is to find one essence, one thing, one truth, one taste, one color, this one thing that is the essence of the movie and maybe the essence of the character, and to inject it into the body, their voice, the way they walk, the way it's like finding this one thing, and then for months before the beginning of the shooting, they live with this truth. For instance, to make it very concrete, like for instance, for this main actor of Shalom Pollack, like the one thing was that he's all the time on the edge of falling down, of collapsing, or as we said it between ourselves, that he has all the time the taste of sand in his mouth, because at the end he knows that he'll get there. So there was something about the music of the melody of his voice, the way he was moving, standing, walking, that tried to take this sentence and make out of it a whole word.